feel, according to quantum mechanics, as far as I look at it and see it, how we feel in the moment determines how the next moment unfolds. So let me give you a little example. I was driving to the airport, taking a friend to the airport, and we were stuck in traffic. And we could have gotten upset. We're going to be late for the plane, blah, blah. But in the moment, we relaxed. We said, you know what? It's going to be fine. At that very moment, a transit lane started on the outside of all of the traffic heading, and we popped in and we zoomed up to the airport. The energy that we were allowed that, I call it hacking the matrix. I call it having an effect on your and you can see it. Choose how to be in the moment. Don't react in how you might normally act. If we had gotten angry, if we had got, oh my God, what are we going to do? How much is it going to cost to get the next flight? The energy we were emitting would have never allowed that transit lane to appear right then. I'm telling you, literally at that minute, we said that thought. So this is it. How you feel in the moment can have an influence on how the next moment unfolds.
Yeah, well, I mean, the universe, I think, is just vibrational energy in a sense, and how we vibrate is a reflection on what comes back onto us.
Yes. Yes.
So, just touching healing as well. I know that you do DNA activation. Is that sort of around the area of healing as well?
Yeah, because in the DNA is, well, the DNA is like an antenna, and it contains all of the information generationally. So it's not just us on our DNA, it's a combination of our parents, grandparents, etc. So how do we shift and change the DNA? Through, I believe, feeling the emotions that we are triggered to feel, turning and looking at them in the eye. The light language has a code in it that affects the DNA, that can bring out latent parts of the DNA, heal other parts, because the light language is coming from a very high frequency. It's coming from outside of this realm that we're living in. And through entrainment, when there are two frequencies in close proximity, most of the time, 99% of the time, the lower energy is pulled up to meet the higher energy. So in the DNA is this generational trauma, is this these sort of heavy energies. So as you absorb the energy of the light language, it helps release that heavy, dense energies of that frequency.
Do you do light language for children or even pets, our animals in a sense?
Yeah, I do it. I've on my channel. I've got. I've worked with horses, and one horse had been through was abused in its
Oh,
early life, and the being that came through acknowledged that animal's service to humanity's evolution, to this person's evolution. I've worked with dogs, cats. They, you can see their ears like listening as I talk. But in a way, a lot of the animals are far more advanced than we are,
I
and
believe
don't
that.
really need it.
No, they right, right. Yeah. And also you can use light language for receiving guidance and messages from the universe, source, whatever you want to personify it as.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's yeah, it's what is, when I'm speaking light language, it's I believe I'm in my midbrain, and the neocortex is blank. And when I'm talking light language, there often is not, for me, a word for word translation. How it happens is I will get a symbol, or I'll get a picture, I'll get a phrase, I'll get a gist of what I'm saying. For me, it isn't. I do know people that can actually translate quite detailed, but it doesn't happen that way for me. And you don't need to know in a way, because if you think you know what it means and it doesn't agree with what you think should be said, you'll bounce it off. So that's the whole point of it. You don't necessarily need to understand it.
I've heard the word light code used in some context with the light language. What's the difference between the light code and the light language then?
Coding, the light code, some people actually draw, and it is just another expression of the frequency where it's coming from. But if you would think of coding, that's more coding than Oleria botoria shenana kiet se si contaria semiata coniataria jegomba akiene oretiaka. And just like, so what they're telling me is, just like we have the written word, we sing here, we'll sing an opera or sing a song, or we'll speak. It's all various ways of expressing energy.
So yeah, so in a client session, then there can be a lot of, I guess, forgiveness for others that have done people wrong, or even towards themselves as well. It's a lot of, for some people, I guess, releasing of energies associated with, you know, soul wounds, maybe, as you said, from past lives. It's maybe a way to expand and, you know, connect with your soul for some people.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, most people would come to see me because they couldn't get their life going in a way that they wanted. Most people come in and say, why doesn't my relationship work? Why can't I find the right job? Why do I try and then fail? And why can't I find what really makes me happy? So in the session, I break down their life into segments and show the common thread and take them back to where that was set up. When people see the pieces of the puzzle fitting together, it's like I understand. It's the epiphany of the program. And to change the program, to change your life, I think understanding the big picture of what it is we've been trying to heal is 70%, 80% of changing your life. Because most people don't. They're like swinging backwards, conditioned response, knee-jerk reacting to everything in their lives, instead of stopping and pulling out and looking back as the observer, identifying the patterns. And when you see the whole jigsaw, the light language comes and helps heal that, going back to that point of emotion, that point of encoding that as a little kid.
You know,